Yeah.
So after the exam, you will find out my word that I'm telling you. When you ask from the students that they are around you, exactly before after the exam, you will find out that okay, it's, for example, the mathematics section was hard. Yes, it was hard for them as well. I don't know, biology section was not expected like that. Yes, it was like this for them as well. So this is the key point, that don't panic. It's the same for everyone, and keep saying this again and again in your mind that no one is more prepared than you. You can do this. Maybe it's like cliche for many people, but it works. Believe me, it works.
Absolutely not. It's not a cliche. Personally, I suffer from severe anxiety. So any kind of stress condition really rile up, anxiety in me. And telling yourself, because I also learned this, that you have to do every time you're feeling like, oh my God, I'm going to crumble under pressure. You have to tell yourself that I have done everything in my part for this exam. I am prepared just as much as anybody else. And if you can't do one question, move on. And there will be a question that you can do. And it's all right.
Yes, and sometimes because of the pressure of the exam and that stress that you have, you haven't answered the first questions. When you start to answer the questions, when you come back, you will see,
Yeah.
oh, they weren't that hard that I thought. It was just your mind that have to start to work even under the pressure, and you have to set yourself with the situation, and after that will be all right. Everything will be all right. And for sure, and overall, first you need to relax your body because physical relaxation is important as well. And then you can relax your mind as well by talking with yourself, saying positive things to yourself, and keep reminding that you are prepared, you can do this, nothing special, and everything is the same as the mock test and past papers that have you done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of student do you think you are? For example, there are people who are perfectionists, overachievers, procrastinators. What kind of student do you think you are?
Definitely perfectionist. Unfortunately and fortunately, I'm a completely perfectionist, not even a student, completely person. It's my personality. It many times it helps me, but sometimes it bothers me that you always want 100% of something. Like you can't stand the less. For example, it's even 0 or 100, and there is no 50 in your choices. It's even 0 or 100. So I'm a completely perfectionist.
Do you think this kind of quality helps you in an exam like IMAT?
Yes, it depends on the way that you are dealing with it, and if you completely know that how it is to be a perfectionist. Like if you study about it, if you read about it, it can hurt you or help you. Um, for example, it can give you um, let's not OCD, but you will be like, okay, I want to study all the sources. No, it can hurt you. The point is that can hurt you. No,
Yeah.
just you have to convince yourself that you have just one source. But with that perfectionist, you can make yourself to study it like the best way, like the perfect way. That's the part that can help you. You have to know yourself, that you have to know the parts that the perfectionism is hurting you, and then it's your choice and your let's say ability to take the advantages or disadvantages to decide if it help you or it hurt you. It depends on you completely. In my opinion, you have to know yourself. For example, the example that I gave you was the thing that happened to me. I suddenly find out that it's hurting me, no, and just putting my time on studying different sources, no testing, no answering questions, and that was really hurting because I had the knowledge, I completely know everything, but I couldn't answer the tests correctly because in tests, in doing past papers, just the knowledge is not working. Really, believe me, maybe your knowledge is 100, but a test, an exam is a combination of many things, like as we mentioned, timing, managing your stress, having enough knowledge. I don't know, many things, many things. It's a combination. Maybe I can tell you 60 or 70% of an exam, or sometimes let's maybe less, is your knowledge. More than that is the other things. So you have to know yourself and take the advantages of being a perfectionist. Don't let it hurt you. Like, convince yourself, okay, if you haven't achieved 100, you can achieve 80. It's okay, it's fine. It's the thing that can satisfy you. Um, for the people like me, I recommend to work on them themselves, read more about perfectionists, and know in what stage they are. Maybe they are different stages of perfectionists. So maybe it's not really bad, or maybe it's okay. It's at the middle of the way. It's okay. They can manage it. If it's so bad and it's not the way that they themselves are managing it, maybe they need the help of a professionalist. So don't hesitate of giving help from another person, maybe even your family members. And if it didn't work, um, the specialists, the professionals, and all this.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe, you need to know yourself and what works for you. And I think what the takeout from your conversation about perfectionism was that it can help you in focusing on the things that matters and the priorities, but it can also be a distraction when you are trying to do too much at once, right?
Exactly. Exactly. You have to know, and you know yourself, and then the thing that you are doing. For example, from this I can tell you, having a planner is one of the things that can help you in this, and having someone else um like our admins, you can ask them, okay, should I read this? They tell you no, and are you sure? Yes, they are sure because they are professionals in this. Okay, so for example, having a planner for me was a really good help because I could convince myself, okay, they know what are they doing, they know what's their plan, they have had many students, then so just trust them and let it go. You don't need to study way too much. You have to study the quantity is not important, the quality is important. And whenever
Yeah.
you convince yourself like this, you can use your perfectionism as a good thing. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. So the last question I would like to ask you, now that you have done this, if you could go back to your preparation time and if you could do something differently, what would you have done?
And let's say I would put more time for my mathematics and physics.
Yeah.
and change the way that I made my notes, because this was my kind of first time that I made notes for myself for the night before exam or something like that, and they weren't that perfect for a quick review. So I would just change that so I could review have a quick review, and let's say review a little bit more, maybe just that. I was really satisfied with my the way I've studied this year. The last year, my big problem, as I don't know if I think I mentioned it, but I didn't done tests. I didn't answered many questions, and that was my problem. I really scared of doing tests, and I saw that many students have this problem. Okay, just tell yourself they are not going to let you in university or kick you out by these questions. Just answer them, or you will find out on your exam that yes, with that exam they will tell you if you are in university or not. Promise that you don't want to understand on that time that you have problem with a subject. So just put your fears away and start testing. Do the tests from different books, from different past papers, or maybe just IMAT past papers. It depends on yourself, but answering a question are really important. For me, as I told you, I prepared myself in physics, mathematics, and critical thinking by just uh, doing the tests and answering different questions. Um, so that you can understand how important they were.
Okay. I just want to say you have given me so much insight today, personally, because I just want to say something. If you are listening till now, great job. You are serious about this and you want to do this badly, as badly as I want to. If you were thinking, why this guy who hasn't cleared the exam is here and why is he talking? I just want to say life is not a sprint, it is a marathon, and you're gonna have high highs and low lows, and failure is just part of it. And you have to make peace with it. And when you make peace with it, I know the first day, the second day, the third day, it's going to be gut wrenching. And you wouldn't want to wake up and you wouldn't want to work for it. But when you make peace with failure, when you normalize failure as a part of life, you're going to understand that, yes, this is it. Now, what I need to do next, I need to get up and I need to prepare for this. I need to relearn this and I do need to do better in order to get the outcomes I want. And that's why I'm here. I wanted to be here because I wanted to tell everybody that it's okay. Because if nobody has told you that it's okay and that you can do it and you can still do it, I want to be that person to tell you that it's okay. I failed this exam this year. I'm going to reappear next year. And if you did that too, it's okay and you can do it again. Just make peace with that failure and try to move forward with a positive mindset and taking tips from people like Atena. That's why we started this podcast, so that you can know how students who have already gotten in, how they studied. And I personally got so much insight from you today. I really want to thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm really happy to hear that, and I appreciate you about the things that you say for completing the things that Priyanshu said. Yes, exactly. A failure not is not even part of life, but it's part of success. Let's say, if you want to become successful, we can. I saw many where that they are saying that, but I couldn't understand what are they saying. How can failure become part of the success? Yeah, successful people in all over the world, they had failures. Okay, what do they mean? Not like failure and doing the same thing that you have done that become failure. No, failure can teach you things, that what not to do, and what to change yourself, change of the plan you studied. Maybe you had resisted against having classes. Maybe you need classes. You had a fear of doing the tests. Do the tests. Now, for the people who haven't been accepted this year, I have so many of them. Unfortunately, some of my friends, I saw that how in what mood they are. They're like, no, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore. And this something like this. Don't be like that. Just can you hear me? I think you're disconnected.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. And just okay, it's a period after your exam, on your failure, after your failure, that you think, okay, I'm tired of this, I can't do this anymore, I don't want to do this. It's always failure? No, it's not. It's like um, there's a time for each person. Your time will arrive for sure. um, Keep positive persons around you, keep the persons that keep you motivated, and make small motivations for yourself. Without motivation, you will not able to study in a correct way, let's say, in a correct way. Uh, so make motivations, be in contact with positive persons, with the persons who are in the same situation as you, and prepare yourself with others. Maybe if you are that kind of person who have to study with others, that if you are alone, you're not studying. Just
Yeah,
the thing is that my recommendation is that now, okay, it passed. You haven't entered. You first of all, you want this or not? How much you want this? Sit and think with yourself and answer the questions that you have in your mind, and answer, what did I done right, what did I done wrong. Don't do the wrong things, and keep doing the right things. And yes, exactly like Priyanshu, if I'm not mistaken, sorry,
that's perfect. Yeah.
Priyanshu saying, um, be friend with your failure and accept it, and be friend with your fears, and don't put your mindset like it will be a failure again. No, if you do it right, if you do the things that you have to do, if you change the wrong things, I can assure you that will be the success at the end. That just don't be tired, be motivated, and keep going.
Yeah. And that's all for today. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Locomotive Podcast. And see you in the next episode. Bye.
Thank you.